colleges. I will confuse them to come to the market.
Congratulations to the media. You have done incredible work.
In 10 days, it will show you what it does.
The Senate observed that PPP has consistently engaged in underhand dealing.
When your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet 101.1 FM News at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m., Mondays to Fridays. Planet Radio 101.1 FM, evolving around you.
It's the news at noon. In the news, federal government delists 18 illegal loan apps. NLC confirmed suspension of strike. Defense headquarters clears air on Nigerian soldiers going to war in Niger Republic. On a foreign scene, U.S. announces partial evacuation of embassy in DJ. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. I am Rachel David White. We begin this afternoon with a report that the federal government, through the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission FCCPC, has given digital money lenders 5 days to prove they are operating within the set guidelines. It also asks Google to remove 18 digital lenders from Play Store for violation of its guidelines. According to the FCCPC, compliance with its guidelines was now mandatory, and failure to do so was a violation of the law. It noted that only digital money lenders that had regulatory scrutiny and compliance evidenced by written approval from it were allowed to be on Play Store. The Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Babatunde Irekura stated these in a statement that digital money lenders operating on Play Store or through any other format must comply with its guidelines. In a separate development, the Defense Headquarters DHQ has insisted that the Armed Forces of Nigeria cannot embark on any operation in any ECOWAS member state without approval from the authority of heads of state and government. It noted that a military option, in a crisis caused by the coup d'etat in Niger Republic that ousted President Mohamed Bazoum would be the last resort. A statement signed by the Director of Defense Information, Tukur Gusau, explained that ECOWAS heads of state and government were exploring other options. Meanwhile, ECOWAS, under the new leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria, has vowed to go hard on the coup plotters and has slammed heavy sanctions on Niger. However, Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso have now taken sides with Niger military junta, warning against any military action. Away from that, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has confirmed the suspension of its planned strike following the intervention of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the Senate. The resolution followed the National Executive Council meeting of the Congress. The National Treasurer, Hakeem Ambali, in a text message said the protest has been suspended due to the Senate's intervention and meeting with President Tinubu yesterday, adding that the protest, which was held yesterday across the Federation, including the FCT, prompted an emergency meeting between the President and the Labour leaders. Reports say during the protest in Abuja yesterday, angry protesters pulled down the gates of the National Assembly in a bid to gain access to the premises so as to meet with the lawmakers. The NLC President, Joe Ajaro, following the meeting with Tinubu, said the President had met some commitments. Meanwhile, the Labour Centre is expected to brief the public shortly. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino has announced that he has approved the sum of 1 billion naira for the payment of gratuities to the retired primary school teachers. Governor Eno, who made the announcement when he addressed the Organised Labour in the state who were on a peaceful protest over the effect of the failed subsidy removal on the people, also announced that the sum of 800 million naira has been approved to clear the backlog of leave grant owed the workers, stressing that moving forward, he has also approved that leave grants be paid alongside with salaries to avoid unnecessary accumulation of entitlement. On the issue of the protest, the governor assured the workers that in 10 days a committee will be set up for the disbursement of palliatives sent by the federal government, including that of the state government, to cushion the effect of the subsidy removal on the people. He used the occasion to thank the people for the support he received during the recently concluded elections and pledged his commitments to the welfare of the workers. Earlier, the state chairman of the Niger Labour Congress, NLC, Comrade Sonny James, had said the workers were protesting against what they described as the anti-people policies of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led federal government. He stressed that there was need for the state government to meet with the federal government to find out the beneficiaries of the monies recovered from the subsidy removal and ensure that the palliatives released by the federal government trickles down to all the states of the federation. He commended Governor Eno on his workers-friendly disposition and expressed confidence in his leadership style. Government House Correspondent General reports that also speaking, the state chairman of the Trade Union Congress, Comrade Dominic Abang, equally commended the governor for his reception and expression of willingness to address the needs of the workers. Still on the labor protest, the Akwa Ibom state members of the Organised Labour yesterday took the scheduled 2nd August protest to the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, where it laid bare its demands to the Akwa Ibom state government, especially making reference to the health sector. Key members of the labor force, including those of Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, amongst others, were in attendance at the State House, where they engaged the Speaker of the House, Ude Motong, on the demands of the varying labor unions in the state and nationally, especially on the policies of government that they believe do not have the interest of the people at heart. Speaking on behalf of the labor unions, NLC Chairman Akwa Ibom State, Comrade Sonny James, urged the government to let Akwa Ibom citizens breathe. In his remarks, a representative of Ude Motong, who is the Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, commended labor in the state for the orderly disposition of the protest and promised to relay their concerns to the appropriate quarters. In the meantime, Akwa Ibom State Government and the Nigerian Navy have indicated readiness to collaborate on security of maritime environment to enhance the accomplishment of the blue economy and tourism component of a RISE agenda. The indication was gathered during an interaction between the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Omoino, and Nigeria's Chief of Naval Staff, CNS, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, who led and encouraged top-ranking officers of the Nigerian Navy in a courtesy visit to the Government House, Uyo. Speaking during the visit, Governor Omoino welcomed the CNS to the state and expressed gratitude of the people and government for the visit and for a premium given Akwa Ibom in Nigerian Navy scheme under his command. while congratulating Ogala on his promotion to the rank of Vice Admiral. Governor Eno appreciated the kind words of the Navy Chief on the Arise agenda, enunciating that Akwa Ibom over time has been blessed with visionary leaders and that the pursuit of the Arise agenda is with hope that the present administration will add reasonably to the development of the state. The governor said to accomplish the tourism component of the Arise agenda and development of the blue economy, which has to do with sea-based wealth, there was great need to partner the Navy to improve maritime security given the coastal location of Akwa Ibom State. The Akwa Ibom Chief Executive also sought partnership with the Navy in building ferries and leisure ships for the water transport and tourism venture proposal of the Arise agenda. He extolled the academic excellence and high level of discipline maintained by the Navy schools in the state and sued for increased slots for Akwa Ibom children as host state. In his remarks, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, congratulated Omoino on his emergence as the people's preferred governor. This, he said, signposts a good thing for the state, given his timely launch of the Navy promising Arise agenda as his government and governor's blueprint. According to the Naval Chief, Akwa Ibom State remains critical to the operation of the Nigerian Navy, both in the military and policing aspect, while acknowledging the state government's support for the naval facility at Esene, providing land for expansion of the school at Utaiwa, donating a girls' school in Onna, and other supports to the NNS Jubilee. Government House correspondent Jane Owa reports that the CNS further assured the governor of the capacity and readiness of the Nigerian Navy to partner the state government in the shipbuilding venture, accomplish the Fish City vision, and any venture that will benefit Nigerians, while promising a favorable consideration for the request for increased slots in the Navy schools as well as guarantee an improved maritime security along the state coastal region. Away from that, Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service, AKIRS, in collaboration with Akwa Ibom State Judiciary, have organized a 3-day training program on taxation for judges, with the theme Contemporary Issues in Taxation. In this welcome address, the chairman of Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service, Okon, will thank the Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State for granting the approval for the 3 days training program, stressed that the retreat will open windows for sharing knowledge and ideas on how to improve tax justification and administration in the state. While thanking the resource person for accepting to offer the experience on contemporary issues in taxation, Okon expressed optimism that the training will contribute to the development and healthy taxation in the society. Delivering her keynote address, the Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State, Justice Ikaide Obut, who noted that taxation is a vital component of generating government revenue and providing essential services, stressed that it serves as a fundamental pillar in shaping the economic landscape of the state, while stating that the judiciary plays a vital role in upholding the principles of justice, equity, and fairness through interpreting laws and resolving tax disputes. Obot stressed the importance of continued training and retraining of the judiciary to enable them efficiently and effectively handle tax and related issues. She therefore commended the Board of Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service for the foresight in organizing the training. Meanwhile, in an interview with Planet News, the judges expressed happiness for the retreat, noting that the training will help them to resolve taxation disputes. A correspondent reports that the event featured training and discussion in tax dispute resolution from administrative, statutory, and constitutional perspective, overview of the legal framework of taxes, and jurisdiction issues in enforcement of state taxes, amongst other topics. You're listening to the News on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. Let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our foreign sport and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us.
Healthy living begins with the choices one makes. Choosing to live healthy is the first step to healthy living. Join us Sundays 1:30 to 2 p.m. for Health Way. Awareness for healthy choices.
Welcome back and many thanks for staying tuned. On the foreign scene, the United States has ordered the partial evacuation of its embassy in Niger following last week's coup. Hundreds of foreign nationals have reportedly been evacuated from the country, and on Sunday the French embassy was reportedly attacked by protesters. Meanwhile, France, the former colonial power in Niger, has asked the military junta, which has taken control of the country, to guarantee the security of their embassy. In sports, the Southern Hemisphere will host the Rugby League World Cup in 2026 after France withdrew for financial reasons. France was awarded the tournament in January 2022 after initial plans for it to be held in North America for the first time. They were scrapped. But organizers were unable to meet financial criteria set out by the French government, and in May it was announced that they had pulled out. Reports say the event will feature 10 men's, 8 women's, and 8 wheelchair teams. As still in sports, Lionel Messi made it 5 goals in 3 appearances for Inter Miami, as he scored twice in a 3-1 win over Orlando City in the League's Cup round of 32. Messi will now head on the road with Miami for the first time, with Sunday's match with FC Dallas in Texas offering a place in the quarterfinals of tournaments for top 5 teams from Major League Soccer and Mexico's Liga MX. On entertainment, the timeless album of Nigerian singer David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, which was released on March 31st, 2023, has surpassed 1 billion streams across major platforms. Reports say Timeless currently holds multiple streaming records, including the most first-week streams for an album on Spotify Nigeria, YouTube Nigeria, Boomplay, and Audiomack. It also holds the record for most first-week streams for an African album in Apple Music, and has also emerged as the most commercial African album of the year. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo, but before we go, let's take a recap of the major stories. The federal government, through the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, has given digital money lenders 5 days to prove they are operating within its set guidelines. The Niger Labour Congress NLC has confirmed the suspension of its planned strike following the intervention of President Bola Tinubu and the Senate. The Defense Headquarters has insisted that the armed forces of Nigeria cannot embark on any operation in any ECOWAS member state without approval from the authority of heads of state and government. On a foreign scene, we told you that the United States has ordered the partial evacuation of its embassy in Niger following last week's coup. And in sport, we reported that the Southern Hemisphere will host the Rugby League World Cup in 2026 after France withdrew for financial reasons. For comment and coverage of your newsworthy event, call our newsroom on 0812-770-2940. Visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on Twitter at planet_101fm. Also like our Facebook page at Planet 101FM Uyo. The news was edited by Jane Uwa. As we end the news, remember that there are no shortcuts in life. If you do the work, you get rewarded. And that's how it will always be. and how it has always been. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.